Do you know that Job was the wealthiest man in his region at his time, but he was the most upright. He was a man who honored God, a man who fled from sin. He was a man who always wanted to be right with God, in right standing with God, and served God. It is possible for a believer, a true believer, someone who truly is born again, someone who truly is led by God and living for God, to be wealthy. God, there are so many instances or so many people that we read about in the Bible who were wealthy, who experienced wealth, who were wealthier than anyone else in their region, and they were servants of God. They were believers in God, and they always made sure that they were in right standing with God, and God blessed them, God favored them, and he brought increase into their lives. Having wealth is not a bad thing. Having money is not a bad thing. Having increase in your finances is not a bad thing. It does not mean that somehow you are becoming less of a godly person. It does not mean that you are falling into sin in any way. God actually does give us the ability to create wealth. Deuteronomy 8 verse 17 and 18 says, "You may say to yourself, my power and the strength of my hands have produced this wealth for me. But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors as it is today." So don't ever let anybody convince you that you wanting to be wealthy, you wanting to have financial abundance, to have more financially is a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. God would not give us the ability to create wealth if us creating wealth, if a Christian being wealthy was a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. Never let anyone convince you. Never let the enemy convince you through people, through you feeling some sort of guilt about desiring more, desiring wealth, desiring more money. Um, don't ever let anybody make you feel like that is a bad thing, or that is sin, or that you are somehow um, corrupted. It's not a corrupted desire. It is a desire from God, because it's something that God wants us to have and gives us the ability to have. When you wake up and you work towards achieving certain goals, towards growing in your finances, growing in whether it's business or your career, and you are praying to God for more money, or you want increase in your life, you're working harder to have more financially, remember that it's not a bad thing. You're not being bad, you're not corrupted, you're not evil. It's a lie from the enemy. It is a lie from the enemy. God does desire to bless us. He wants us to have all the wealth. He wants us to succeed and to build wealth, not just for us, but for the generations coming after us. So do not let the enemy deceive you into thinking that you wanting more is a bad thing, thinking that you working towards making more money is a bad thing.